All right, guys, so I might have sold a little bit on the thumbnail. JGOD and True Game Data aren't exactly obsolete. They definitely do some tedious work. But what I'm not exaggerating about is Call of Duty just gave us the ability to test and compare different weapons in a really fast and easy way with the recent Season 3 update. Originally, what I'm about to show you got added back in Season 2, but right before I can make a video about it, they ended up taking it away, and now for some reason, it's back with Season 3. Now, the feature that I'm talking about gives you the ability to test and compare how different guns perform against each other in Warzone 2 and Resurgence without actually having to go up against live players. So if you're finding that you're having trouble deciding between a few different guns, or maybe you're just trying to decide if it's even worth the time of leveling up a certain gun, then stick around because this video is going to be for you. Now, just quickly, I do want to tell you, I ended up finding another hidden audio setting in the game files that got put in with the Season 3 update. I'm still doing some testing on it, but I think I might have found another way to make the footsteps stand out a little bit. And as long as I can repeat the results, I'm going to make a video on it very shortly. And then after that, I'll have the recoil video that I've been talking about. So make sure you're subscribed if you want the notification. The footsteps definitely sounded better. I just want to make sure before I go and make a video on it. Now, when it comes to testing guns, unfortunately, you are going to have to own the full version of Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer to be able to access this method. If you don't, at the end of the video, I'll try to show you another way that can sort of give you a rough estimate. But if you have the full version, it's going to make it super quick and easy to compare the differences between 2 or 3 different guns at a time. All right, so what you want to do is you want to go down to where it says multiplayer and then go to where it says private match and then click create a private match. Once you're on this screen, you want to select team deathmatch. You're going to be using the bots for this, so you don't want them shooting at each other and messing up your results, so make sure they're on the same team. Next, you want to go to where it says game setup and then you want to pick the map. This is going to be totally up to you. It really just depends on the distance you need between the targets, depending on the gun and the range that you want to test. I'm going to be using SMGs as an example, so shipment should work best for me. Next, you want to go to where it says default game rules. On this first tab, the only thing you really need to change is the score limit. You want to max it out at 1,000 points so the match doesn't end early. And if you want, you can max the time limit out to 45 minutes and then lower the match start time to 5 seconds. You don't really need to do anything under this advanced tab unless you feel like lowering the points to kill to 0, but I've never had a match end because of that. Now, this next tab under player, this is what makes testing the guns for Warzone possible. With the Season 3 update, they gave us the ability to add armor to the bots, making it so you can see exactly how certain guns will perform against fully plated enemies. This makes it super easy to see how fast a certain gun will kill when compared to other guns of a similar class. So the only thing you need to do on this page is switch enable armor to on, and then right below it, you want to switch spawn armor to 150 points. Just make sure max health is set at 100, and then it will be exactly the same as an enemy in Warzone with 100 base health and 150 in armor health. Fully plated in Warzone, you have a total of 250 health, so when the bots take damage, it's going to mimic exactly how it would feel in game. All right, now quickly under this next tab, you want to switch kill cam to off and final kill cam to off and radar always on to directional. And then lastly under gameplay, make sure you switch spawn ammo mags to max so you don't run out of ammo, and then go down to where it says kill streaks and switch that to off. Next, you want to set the number of bots that you want in the match. When I'm testing guns, I normally only run 2, maybe 3 enemy bots at most. Like I said before, just make sure they're on the same team so they don't take damage from each other and mess up your results. Sometimes in team deathmatch, it'll glitch out and it won't let you move. If that happens, you could just restart the app and a lot of times it'll fix it. If not, you can use free-for-all. Just make sure you only use 1 enemy bot. Now, the last thing you want to do before you start the match is pick the guns that you want to test. The great thing about using a private match is you don't have to have the guns leveled up or even unlocked to be able to use it. You can build it any way you want because all the attachments are already unlocked, and that way there you can see if it's even worth the time of unlocking and leveling up the gun. Now, for example, I knew that KV shotgun was going to be a problem the day it came out in Season 2 because I already tested it in here before I even had it unlocked. Now, the best way to do this is to make an overkill class so you can have 2 primaries. You want to pick a gun that you know is good, something that kills fast, have it in your first slot, and then pick the gun that you want to test and put that in your second slot. You can run an ammo box if you want, or you can just have the bots kill you, and then you can respawn back in with max ammo. Now, when you get into a match, the only thing you're going to have to remember is try to keep it at the same range if you're comparing it to another gun, and more importantly, make sure you're consistently hitting your shots in the same spot as you did with the other gun. If you shoot center chest shots with one gun and then arm shots with the second, it's going to make it feel like it has a slower time to kill when that might not be the case. What I do is I'll start out getting like 5 or 6 kills with the first gun, just get a feel for the time to kill, and then I'll switch to the second gun and see if it feels faster or slower. I'll do that a few times times until I get the feel down, and then I might swap out a barrel or a muzzle and see if it feels any different. Sometimes I'll shoot like I normally would in game, strafing back and forth, trying to get the kill as quick as I can, and other times I'll try to be more methodical, and I'll specifically test center chest shots or neck shots or headshots. But after doing this for a few minutes, it gets pretty easy to tell if a gun takes longer or shorter to kill, and if you want to test a third gun, all you have to do is pick a different loadout. A lot of guns in Warzone have a stat called minimum damage against armor, so being able to shoot the bots fully plated, it gives you a pretty accurate feel. Now, this isn't perfect or an exact science like what JGOD or True Game Data does, but it will give you a good idea of how a certain gun will perform. The only downfall that I could see is if they ever nerf a gun for Warzone and not multiplayer, it could throw off your results. That doesn't happen a lot, but just something to keep in mind. Now, just quick, for those of you that don't own multiplayer, I'm going to show you how I used to do it using the firing range. It's not going to be nearly as accurate as the private match because the targets don't have armor, but it can give you a rough idea of how a certain gun will perform. The targets in the firing range have 100 health, and the enemies in Warzone have 250 health, so all you have to do is aim at a specific part of the target, say upper chest, and then slowly fire one shot at a time and count how many shots it takes to down the target. Once you get that number either in your head or with a calculator, you want to multiply it by 2.5. So if it takes 2 shots to down, 2 times 2.5 equals 5, giving you a total of 5 shots to down a player with 250 health. Say you count 3 shots to down a target, then you multiply 3 times 2.5 and you get a total of 7.5. Since you can't fire half a bullet, you're going to round that number up to 8 shots to kill. Like I said before, a lot of guns have minimum damage against armor, so it's not going to be completely accurate, and it also doesn't take fire rate into consideration, so you're not going to get as good as a feel for the time to kill like you would in a private match, but it should give you somewhat of an idea of how certain guns perform compared to others. If you found this video helpful, drop a like, follow me over on Twitter to stay up to date on everything Warzone 2, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more short, straight to the point videos like this. I'll catch you next time, and if not, kick rocks. Peace.
Kick rocks, biatch!